Hello and welcome to the Purifying Flame Discharge build. The main skill is Purifying Flame with a single target. The clear is done by the shockwave, created by Purifying Flame. I included Discharge in this build as there is a Discharge setup, created mainly by my tree and Ascendancy. Valako Storm Embrace, it gives regen, increased by 0.5% of life per second per endurance charge. 15% more damage if I've lost an endurance charge. Gives another max endurance charge, and forces me to gain an endurance charge every second if I've used a warcry recently. Endurance Cry grants 2% additional physical damage reduction and 2% to all elemental resistances per endurance charge. I'm at max endurance charge anytime I've warcried twice. My endurance charge generation is the main way I keep up Discharge. Discharge's damage can be increased greatly by Spell Echo, and Unleash can pretty much negate the cooldown. My endurance charge recovery is also supported by my tree using the following nodes: Stamina, Inexorable, Call Arms, Vigour, and Disciple of Unyielding. All of these nodes can be found at the bottom of the tree. It can be casted so long as you have more than one endurance charge, which is good because with only one, you wouldn't do hardly any damage. I've switched my main skill for this build 3 times, finally settling on Purifying Flame when considering its overall damage between the initial hit and its shockwave. Purifying Flame naturally has a high mana cost, even higher than Wave of Conviction, so it's linked to life tap. With over 450 base regen, having Purifying Flame cost life is much more manageable. It now costs just over 100 life. Damage in this build is based on physical damage converted to fire, and through elemental ailments. I've got 20% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite, plus an extra 25% to ignite from flammability, giving me a 45% chance to ignite. My shock has an effect of 20 as well. My main defense is my life regen, and Immortal Call, which lasts longer due to my 6 max endurance charges. My gloves are all red. In my gloves I have Enduring Cry, Herald of Ash, and Conch Path linked to Fortify. Despite not having my Conch Path linked to faster attacks, it goes just as fast as my Leaf Slam, which is linked to faster attacks. Discharge is linked to Spell Echo and Cruelty. And this is also where I have my Veil Haste. In my body armor I have my main skill Purifying Flame linked to Life Tap, Controlled Destruction, Spell Echo, and Concentrated Effect. This is only a 5 link as I currently do not own a 6 link. The unlinked socket in my body armor contains Flame Wall. In my boots I have Leap Slam linked to faster attacks, X-Touch, and Flammability. My unset ring has Herald of Purity socketed in. In my main hand weapon, I have Immortal Call linked to a cast when damage taken. I also have Holy Flame Totem linked to Volley and Knockback. For your main hand, I strongly recommend Martyr of Innocence. If you don't get this, or you don't have it, get some scepters or a staff that increase spell damage, fire damage, cast speed, and burning damage. I still have the scepters that I leveled with, as an example. For your helmet, get something with a high life roll, reduced reservation of skills, and an open prefix so you can craft on fizz damage taken as fire. For the body armor, I recommend Ambu's Charge for the regenerate 2% of life if you've been hit recently. Or you could swap it out for a rare body armor, as this item isn't really necessary. Restless Ward also works well for this, for the increase to life regen per endurance charge. Remember, we got 6 of them. Fur Gloves, just get some with a bit of dex, cold resist. And if you can't get one with a decent life roll, get one with an open prefix, so you can craft life on it. The other stats on it don't matter as much. My boots, ring, and amulet all work together. Bring my Chaos Resistance over cap. My boots have a decent life roll, cold resist, chaos resist, and more cold and chaos resistance. Crafted on. Ming's Heart is one of my rings for the chaos resistance and the gained chaos damage, meaning that I now deal fire and chaos damage. My amulet is the Jinx Juju for the attributes, chaos resistance, increased curse effect, increased non-curse aura effects, which affect flammability, haste, and Veil Haste. My unset ring is lightning and cold resistance with a decent life roll and an increase to the level of socketed gems inside. My belt is a Stygian Vise with all elemental resists and a decent life roll and an open prefix to craft 20-25 life and an increase to mana. Sorry. Yeah, the Abyss jewel inside. Stinging Advice has dexterity, added spell fire damage, and a chance to hinder enemies. Purifying Flame is cast from a distance, at a nearby enemy. To increase damage, Leaf Slam has a curse on hit, spreading flammability. You can also Leaf Slam into a pack of weaker enemies and cast Discharge. They apparently can't stand it. It's not even my main skill, and it's on a 3-link. And yet it often clears better than my main skill, despite having lower DPS. This build, while it's not my favorite, it's not my worst build, nor my weakest, perhaps one of my strongest, or at least one of my strongest original ideas. However, as I've played this build, and like the overall damage between the initial hit and shockwave, it's just not enough to make me really love Purifying Flame. However, the damage is too high for me to switch back to Wave of Conviction.
This is my punishment. Come receive yours, Exile. I shall free you.